Morning, everybody. How are we all doing? Morning, Soul Trader. Morning, Evil. Morning, Virginia. Lucas, Paul. How are we all doing? Happy Friday. It's Friday again. I like Fridays. I was just looking at the difference in these spreads this morning. It's crazy. I'm switching away from Darwin X. Where the hell's my pen gone? Yeah, look at the difference in the spread here. Yeah. This is Global Prime. It's not great, but it's not bad on the FTSE. And then we go over to Darwin X. Look at the spread on Darwin X. It's like that. It's that. There you go. It's that. It's absolutely huge. I don't know what's happened. It didn't used to be this big on the FTSE. Darwin X have just decided to spread the crap out the FTSE, and I've noticed this over the last couple of weeks. Do you know what I think it is? And I've had this before. Profit. I'm making money, and they don't like it. So they spread it. Done it before. Spread has got even bigger lately, it seems. Yeah. It's only the FTSE, though, for some reason. The DAX is absolutely fine. This is one of the reasons I chose Darwin X, because of their tight spreads. They've got really tight spreads on everything. But the FTSE, for some reason, it's not tight anywhere. This is Global Prime, and it's still not amazing, but you compare everything else, it's off the chart for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to switch back to I'm going to switch over to Global Prime, I think, for indices moving forward. So while we're talking about indices, morning Dallas, morning John, or good evening even, morning Mumo. So yeah, so indices this morning, there's no pre-market breaks with the stock index hedge EA. Too tight today across the board, so not a lot of pre-market action. We've got a small gap up on the FTSE, so there's an awful lot of volume, bull volume came in straight away on the FTSE. So I'll be taking the 5-minute ORB, and I'll probably be taking it immediately by the looks of things, because this spread is going to immediately trigger the order. Awful. So yeah, so 5-minute opening range break today on both. Assuming that we get the right ranges. 118, that's fine at the moment. And 350, that's fine. So yeah, it looks like we're taking a 5-minute ORB today, although the FTSE's off 130. Still all right. If it goes above 200, I won't be taking it. So we'll come back to those in a bit and see where they go. Let me just get the DAX over there. Let's see what we're doing on this one. This is the new EA or the new strategy variation that I'm running at the moment in forward test, which is killing it. Up 49.69% in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I am running it on high risk, but still up 50%. If you were trading prop, you've passed. This is only a 10k account, so 10k, I think it was 10k. Yeah, 10k. So it's 10k account. It's done 5 grand in the last 2 weeks. Actually, most of that's done this week, but actually most of that was done yesterday. Killed it yesterday, but yeah. So anyway, we'll see. Morning Noob, morning Singh, morning Barry. Right, we'll start off with the news as usual. Then we'll look through everything as usual. Look through the markets, look through the zones. We'll see what's going on with everything this morning. It's non-farm payroll day today. Yeah, good luck, Iran. So yeah, overnight news, not really a lot. We didn't get much out of Japan overnight. Trump was quite quiet overnight. S&P dropped on Amazon projected earnings, but doesn't really affect FX anyway. So yeah, there was nothing particularly exciting overnight news-wise, nothing from Trump particularly exciting. Bank of England, obviously, yesterday, the interest rates came out and dropped as expected to 4.5. However, we had everybody voting to cut rates rather than one person voting to stay the same. And out of those 9, 2 of them wanted a 0.5 cut. So more aggressive cutting on the pound. So if we look at the pound yesterday, you will see, oops, what the hell's going on there? Yesterday's obviously a drop in the pound. So interest rates came down, which is bearish. That was mostly priced into the market. However, the forward guidance is they are in a more aggressive stance now because two members voted for 0.5% drops rather than quarters. So obviously we had quite a big bear move on the pound yesterday. So it's slightly more bearish than it was before. But as you can see, a lot of these moves on the pound have stalled or undone themselves because it was all factored in. We knew the rate cuts were coming. So, right. So that was yesterday's news. We've got today non-farm payroll, or rather unemployment rates. So we've got the unemployment rate for the CAD forecast to go up. We've got the unemployment rate for the US forecast to remain stable. So we'll see what happens with those this afternoon. Obviously, be prepared for lots of volatility on the US and the CAD this afternoon. Lots of opportunities to bank. And obviously get into new positions if you go into drawdown on the news. So that's coming up at 1:30. That is an hour before market open. So as usual on non-farm payroll day, the market will quite possibly on the stock indices put all the volume in over here during Globex, and when the bell rings there's nothing left. So it's always difficult non-farm payroll days. Sometimes they are huge trenders because you get a move and then the market just undoes the move during the opening bell and during the session. So you just get a beautiful trend day and you make a fortune. Other days it sits there and does absolutely nothing because it's put all the moves in there and there's nothing more to do. It's a real hit and miss day, but it can be incredibly profitable. So we'll see where we go with that. But nothing much else to report, really, apart from Iran's supreme leader this morning saying if the US threatens our security, we will threaten their security. Good luck. You haven't got any nukes, and basically every time you scream and shout, everybody else goes in and stops you screaming and shouting. But anyway, they're getting quite big now, aren't they? A bit worrying. Anyway, so I'm not going to talk politics. ADRs and RSIs today. ADRs, there's nothing so far. There's a hell of a lot of weekly movement. Trump obviously has moved everything. So the weeklies, kind of, most of these have all played out if you look at them already. But a lot of these moves, let me just stick a line on the beginning of the week. Where are we? Friday, Thursday, Tuesday, Monday. What? That's not right. Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Forgot a day. Obviously, we gapped up massively on everything, or gapped up or down massively on everything. So we had this huge gap up scenario. So the weekly ranges, everything that hit weekly range did it on Monday basically, or Tuesday. So by the end of Tuesday, most stuff had already done its entire weekly range because of the huge gap caused by Trump. So these are all either played out already or not. Yeah, I mean, there you go. So weekly range basically done. But yeah, they're all very extended at the minute. So lots of good opportunities. Hourly RSIs and 4 hourly RSIs. There's very little happening on the hourly RSIs at the moment. This account has got very little activity on it. I did spot an error yesterday in the members stream. I set the new account up, and unfortunately, I didn't check whether the data was loaded, and there was a load of data missing. So it missed. It's missed 3 trades this week. It started trading yesterday, so it took its first trade yesterday. So unfortunately, I missed 3, which have all unfortunately played out as well. But anyway, so yeah, so that's just started up. So there's no other opportunities on the hourly RSIs at the moment. It's been really quiet anyway. So very few opportunities. You have got some 4-hour RSI extensions in. Not particularly exciting though, because they're yens, a couple of them. So we've got the Swiss yen. That's a 4-hour RSI extension to the downside. Very extended. Beautiful 3-bar reversal, or actually it's just kind of a hammer going in at the moment. So lovely hammer reversal, potentially up into that area there. So you've got kind of a 50% retracement on the leg available. So drop down low time frames, get in on reversal alerts. Perfect. There. Back up. Euro odd. The other yen that's extended is the pound yen. That same move basically as the euro yen. So big, strong move down, then pushing back up. That one's exactly the same hammer off of the monthly low as well. Look, yeah, got monthly low rejection going on. Beautiful long opportunity. Swaps are good to go long. I kind of like that, but I'm not going to get in any yen. I told myself I'm not going to, and I'm not going to. Pound odd is also extended off the back of the news, so that's a nice extension down there again. 8 hours of solid selling yesterday into propulsion and holding for a new up leg, so that looks good entry there. And also you got euro odd as well. So if you're trading the 4-hour RSI extensions, the position trader EA or the market reversal alerts EA, whichever you're using, will get you into these accordingly. You probably are already in. Nice monthly support coming up as well, just down there. But it's very, very choppy, this euro odd at the minute. So there you go. So there's your RSI extensions. There's not a massive amount to look at there. Right, quickly go back to the indices, and then I'll quickly catch up on chat. DAX triggered short. FTSE no trade today. Look at the size of that range. That did 240, so just 20, just over 20% of the average daily range within that first 5-minute candle on a gap up. Interesting. So won't be taking that with the SIH. DAX has triggered short. The other EA variation on the strategy is not going to trade the DAX this morning because the 5-minute range there and 10-minute range is below the 20%. So this works the inverse to SIH. And then we've got an inside bar going in. So we won't be taking that. However, I've set these all up. I covered this in the member stream yesterday. I've set these all up now to take the 30-minute ORB as well. And this profit that you see from yesterday, half of that was made out of a 30-minute ORB. So 30-minute ORB does look like it's got some good potential. So I'm going to do some more development work on that. But FTSE will be taking that 5-minute. Actually, it's going to be a 5, 10 or 15-minute ORB because it's got 2 inside bars forming. So I'm going to take a break of that as well today and see if we can get some movement there. Right. So we'll look at the other accounts. Obviously, the H1 RSI account, there's not a lot going on that at the moment. Just want to check this is working properly now. Yeah, good. Okay. Cool. So there's only one trade on at the moment because obviously the RSI dash is flat. There isn't any. So not a lot to look at on there at all. Yen trend pullback strategy that I'm doing in the member stream, that's got 400 DD on at the moment. Got 4 trades on, which is nice. So looking for some continuation strength in the yen. That one's up. I won't go through that in more detail, but we'll cover the zones. So lots of trades on the zones now. Got loads on yesterday. So we'll go through all the zones and update those today, as usual. WS, what strategy is the new one, position or index? What strategy is the new one, position or index? I'm talking the new big winner on the 10K account. It's indices, isn't it? That's trading stock indices. DAX. It's the opening range breakout strategy. It's just a variation. If you want to know more, come in the member streams. Morning, Mark. Still trader. PC died at 801, then restarted at 802. That's helpful, isn't it, for the opening range? Obviously, too much stress from the FTSE this morning for your PC. Morning, JC. Right, so we're pushing up again. Does look like FTSE wants to be bull today, which would indicate more weakness in the pound today. So we may well get some more downside momentum in the pound. Pound New Zealand's coming down. Not a lot of movement, actually. Oh, it hasn't downloaded the data from this account either. That's really annoying. Oh, well. Okay, look at that in a minute. I'm getting strange readings from the RSI dashboard. I assume it's the broker feed? Nope, your broker just feeds data. What do you mean by strange readings? Just check your. I mean, it doesn't give, just gives the readings. So whatever that number on there is the same as is on your chart, basically. So from the last closed candle. So I'll have to clarify what you mean by strange. Could you got a ghost in there? A demon possessed it, maybe? So I've been watching some horror films lately, getting into demons and stuff. Not literally. I'm not becoming a devil worshipper. I just like films. Right. On that note, I'll shut up and carry on. Aussie dollar CAD. So we're going to go through all the zones. Incorrect readings. All overbought indices on lower time frame locked. That makes no sense at all. Don't know what you mean. Locked. It only it only updates every candle. Yeah. So this doesn't update in real time. This is reading on closed candles. Yeah. So the last closed candle, this one is one we're interested in. We're not interested in what's going on now because it could do that, and give all sorts of readings. We're interested in where did it close? It's that last reading here. This is not what you see in the dash. Is that a monster, Mumo? That doesn't look scary at all. Right. Zones. So Aussie CAD. At the moment, short, just waiting for something to happen. We got a little spike down yesterday. Didn't quite get the exit I wanted on that yesterday, but close to. Yes, it's not updating my MT5 version working fine. Don't know. Broken. Don't know. Make sure you got it on something that ticks. One of the things that people get wrong with dashboards, yeah, all information from every indicator and EA within any terminal works on tick. If you place your dashboard on something that is not ticking, it will not update, because if it doesn't tick, it doesn't run the script. Yeah, so some people put it on some weird instrument like a futures product, which is non-tradable, and then wonder why it doesn't update. So just make sure the instrument's ticking. Apart from that, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with the product. It's just something wrong with your end somewhere. But check your logs, stuff like that. Make sure you got data, usual stuff. Or post in Discord if you got problems. Someone will help you, or me. Aussie CAD shorts at the moment. So looking for a push back down into this area of balance and support. Upside, I'm looking to get in again if we come and retest this area here. This spike obviously is just Trump, basically, isn't it? So that's the next area of resistance, which kind of ties in with that Trump move. But this is again another Trump move. This is basically where we were finding resistance after the Trump move and the reversal. That is where we found resistance again. So this is the area of interest to the upside where the market is selling from. So if we push there, I'm looking for a range to form from that high. Failing that, obviously, my next entry is going to be somewhere up at that high or that high there. Target, obviously, to the downside. Aussie dollar Swiss, looking for a long entry on this. Not getting in short. It's doing exactly what I was expecting to do. That was the last exit I did. That's where basically I was expecting to go. So there's a short entry coming up at the gap fill. I'm not getting in short because it's too expensive, but if you want to get in there, that's where I would get in. Then obviously look for maybe somewhere around those highs as a target, but I'm trying to get in long on this and I just can't get an entry on it. So there's a propulsion gap here. Oh, that's what I meant to do yesterday. I meant to load the support resistance propulsion indicator on here so I could have the propulsion gaps highlighted, but I completely forgot. Zone trader. Account. Just writing a little note to remind me to do stuff. When you get old, you have to have notes to remind you to do stuff. So yeah, looking for an entry long on that. I can't get in at the minute. Aussie New Zealand, first short taken yesterday. So this is the area you can see it's all greyed out now because that's the area I was looking to attack, and we have shorted it. Lower low going in at the moment, which is nice. So downside target on this. It's going to go with those lows at the minute. So we got this area here where we hit, we broke through it, tested it, came back up, tested that area, came above it, tested. So this is the flip point where this is our price discovery failure. If you're in the member streams yesterday, we talked about price discovery and balance, and that's the new area of balance formed outside that failed. So we're looking to go up and test this area here, and then we may well form that area there as a range. So I will get out down here, and if I need to get in again, I will get in at the highs up there. Aussie US, shorts on, 2 shorts at the moment, nothing to change on this one. So zones from yesterday are still in place. Target is that propulsion gap to the downside, looking to get out fairly quick on US dollar stuff at the moment because of Trump. And upside for third position short will be up there. Obviously this can well be out today. I could be in a new trade today and out today, obviously non-farm payroll, so it could go absolutely anywhere. CAD Swiss, looking to try and get in long on this. I can't get an entry either, so just going to move the zone up into those recent lows we had there. So this is a propulsion gap there. So one massive propulsion gap which they're rebuying. So I'm going to basically jump in the next time they come and test that area, if they test that area. So that's my entry. It is in a little bit of a downtrend at the moment. Obviously today we've got the Canadian unemployment, so that could easily be down there later on today. So that'd be my entry long. I'll put a target on it when and if we get in. Euro odd, I can't get in. It's just a mess, this thing. Just can't get in. It's so tight, the price action on it. There's no real obvious support resistance areas. So this is where I'd be looking to buy if you want to get in long. But shorts, I'm just targeting this area here at the moment, which kind of just got invalidated and mucked about with, but because of Trump again. So looking for shorts up there. Euro CAD, looking for short entry. Looking for a retest of the propulsion move. So once getting short there. Yeah, so looking for this M pattern reversal, continuation short market structure. Euro Swiss, looking for shorts out of the gap fill. Euro Pound, first short entered. So gap fill done, short entry in. So next sell, I need a target, obvious lows, sell. See if we can retest that move from yesterday. It's not a particularly great area, it's just the most recent resistance. So there's nothing really of interest at that level. So it is the most recent resistance. So I'm just going to target that. That's a Trump move. So yeah, just somewhere around there. It's kind of this level here. It's not very clean, but nothing's clean at the moment because we've got Trump. Just messes everything up. Technical traders at the moment will be having an absolute nightmare, basically, because they'll all be putting their trend lines everywhere and going, but it doesn't line up with that spike. No, it won't, because it's not real market price. It's just knee-jerk reaction and panic from something that Trump or Elon Musk said. So levels become unusable. Support resistance will always be there, but you've got to kind of manually filter stuff out. You've got to kind of go, no, this stuff isn't real, because it's not. It's just a knee-jerk reaction. So this area here is our previous support. We broke through it, went into balance in the area. We broke down and held that level. So it just shows the changing power here from buyers fight sellers in control. Then we had a new spike, or Trump spike, whichever it was, and then the sellers regained control of the market, and that is where we broke down. That is where we got to yesterday. The sellers really overpowered the buyers again and broke back down. So if we do get back up into here, we know that this is a massive sell point. So that's where we'll be selling from the second entry, and we'll look for making new lower lows. So just in case we double bottom, I'll get out at the lows. Euro New Zealand, looking for shorts. I've already got a short on this on the other account, but I'm still short on that. My target is somewhere down here, just on a break of this low here. I'm just looking to get out, basically. Yeah, can't get in. I'm not going to, at the moment, this looks like to me at the moment we're holding these lows. So until the market's proven me wrong and we have broken down, I will obviously then move this down to here and we'll look for a retest short. But at the moment, I'm going to assume that this range is going to hold and that we're going to push back up again. So if that starts to unfold over the next few days, I will then probably look to target these highs here. So what I will do at the moment, I'm staying up here until I can sort of see a little bit more price action unfold. But the likelihood is I will look to target this area here. Yeah. In case we put in a lower high than these recent peaks. So you can see obviously price action ranges are not exact. They never are exact. So you've got range high there, slightly lower one there. Then we put in a lower one, a slightly higher one little bit higher, one bit higher than that. The next one's going to come in somewhere between there and there. Yeah. So if this range high is going to hold, somewhere in here you're going to find sellers. No one knows where they're going to be yet. So I'm going to err on the side of caution, and I'm going to get in as early as I can to make sure I get in the move. That's basically it. So shorts from there on the Euro New Zealand. Getting 2025 02 06 30. I was halfway through reading that, Mumo, and you deleted it. Didn't help me. Euro US dollar. So shorts on at the moment. It's in profit. Looking for a test of this area here. We tapped into it yesterday. So I'm looking for it to continue back down to there. Obviously, this is going to move on the news this afternoon. Next entry long. That's too close, obviously. That is just slightly too close. This area here is a good resistance to the upside. So we may well get one on there, but it's too close for the to the other orders. So I'm looking for them basically to either come into this propulsion gap and resell that propulsion move to the downside, or if that fails and there's no sellers left there, we're going to break through that level and we're going to come and retest these highs, which we will find some selling action at as well. So obviously too short at the moment. I'm in profit below break even on it, but that's where I'm looking to get in next short and just want to get out really. I'm going to watch this today. So one of the beautiful things about my new dashboard, let's look at it on here actually, is that's the old dashboard. I haven't got it on here actually. What's I doing? Pound US, wasn't I? The new dash is that I can monitor the account while the news is going on and grab opportunities. So if I see something that that suddenly goes into a massive profit, I can just take it and be done with it and close it out. Gone. And other stuff gets into profit. So I've got 335 there. I've got 155 loss there. So I can close that out. I can close out half of that. You can just grab bits and pieces of money in parts whenever you want to, and just build the profit up basically while reducing your drawdown, and just keep on top of everything. So I'm going to watch this account while that news is unfolding, and things like the US and the CAD. There's going to be lots of opportunities basically to get into things. Where was I? I was Euro US, wasn't I? Yeah. So if this suddenly spikes down today, it's not going to do anything until that candle closes on the news. So if it spikes down inside this and goes all the way down into here, we're going to wait until that candle closes. The next candle's price action is going to determine whether the EA closes it or not. I can intervene and step in and go, I'll have that. It's a load of money. Obviously, if it goes up into there, I'll let the EA just carry on. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing about that new dash. It's going to really revolutionize the way that I analyze basically portfolios, which is why I wanted to build it. It's kind of what I had as an initial dream of building when I first built the Trade Manager dash, but I was much more focused on strategy then. Now I'm just focused on just strategies there. I know what to do. It's just being able to grab more money when you want it, basically, is more I'm more focused on now. So so Euro US dollar done. That will be moving on the news today. Pound odd, 2 longs on. Need to get another one on. That's annoying. So yeah, second entry taken. Obviously, we had a big drop on the news yesterday. So my next resistance area is kind of here on these highs and encompassing this propulsion. This is a 4-hour propulsion gap here. So what I'll do is I will just bracket. See, it's already bounced exactly where I wanted it. I would want the next trade on. So these highs basically here are where we were holding the buyers at bay. We screamed straight through it, and this is the first retest of that propulsion gap. So this move here that we're seeing, this W pattern reversal, is basically all the shorts here that flip long, adding back into their positions to make market structure go long. So I've missed the entry. I can't do anything about it. So hopefully we will have another little drop on the pound today, back into the zone, and then I can get one on and just bring that average down. But obviously, if it just continues up and does what I think it's going to do, we're going up there anyway. So it's a shame. Pound CAD, second entry long taken yesterday, so need a new buy. Tricky price action on this at the minute. So this is the support resistance break here. So we hit that area, bounced, tried to get through it with a symmetrical triangle, which broke, so they succeeded. Came back up, rebought, resold the level, slammed through it on the news, retested, rebought. So this is basically the area they're buying from at the moment. So that is where my next buy is going in. Upside target, I'm just going to move it down because we've got Canadian dollar news today. We really need ADR on here. I haven't got it. I need to get some indicators on this account. Pound CAD ADR is 141. So I also need period separators. Not very organized on this account at all at the moment. So ADR today is going to be in that zone. So that's perfect. Right. So that's ADR basically. So basically the top of this zone is pretty much today's ADR. So if we get an ADR hit on the news, I'm done. However, we got this whacking great tempting propulsion gap target all the way up here, which they've resold. So actually, anywhere in there really today is an opportunity. So ADR is here. I haven't got the ADR indicator. 125 ADR, 150 ADR, 175 ADR. Look for a massive negative news event on the CAD today. We could easily be at 150 to 175 ADR, retesting this propulsion gap at 130 this afternoon. So there's a good opportunity for making money. But again, I'll monitor this today with the dash. And I may take a manual exit. But at the moment, somewhere in there, I'll be getting out. Have I got a new long on? Yeah, long's back there. Getting error 2025. Position Trader EA, zero divide in Position Trader EA on Pepperstone demo. You haven't got enough data for ADR, Mumo. This is the problem I had yesterday. Yeah. So on this account yesterday, I was getting exactly the same error as you. I removed the logs. So I don't think you're going to see it. But I had exactly the same error yesterday. Basically, what the Position Trader EA does is whichever time frame you're running on, obviously, is where it takes the trade. So this is running on the hourly time frame. What it does, if you're using it the same as me, is it's taking trades based on a percentage risk over ADR. So it needs to have ADR calculation to place the trade. That zero divide error means that it's trying to do that calculation and you haven't got 10 days worth of ADR data to make the calculation. Therefore, it can't take a trade. So that zero divide error is basically when it would have taken a trade. So on the pound CAD yesterday on M15, it would have tried to take a trade for you, but it couldn't because it didn't have ADR data. So what you need to do to fix it is untick the scroll the chart to the end button, that little triangle button. See that little triangle button there? Untick that, which is basically it stops you from moving the chart. Look, I can't, it just, every tick it goes back to the top. When you untick that, you can go back. And basically just hit the home button on your keyboard over and 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 over again. And just keep going back and back further and further and further in time. Yeah. And make sure you've got a minimum of 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, however many days you are calculating ADR over. Make sure you've got that many days of history available. So I'm now back to the 22nd of October 2021. I've got enough data. Yeah. And then hit that button, back again. That's what it is. So basically, if you were using fixed lots, the error wouldn't occur because it doesn't need to do a calculation over ADR. However, it does need to do calculations over ADR if you're using ADR targeting. So again, you may well get an error saying, sorry, I can't do the targeting because we haven't got ADR. That's what it is. It's annoying. I'm going to look at some ways to maybe overcome that. Why is that stretched all the way down there? Oh, what have I done now? Oh my God. Don't know what I've done. Mucked something up on the VPS. Yeah, anyway, so that's what it is. When will the new dashboard be available to buy? I don't know. It's not finished yet. I'll go through it in a minute. I'm going to finish. I mean, it's ready. It's working absolutely fine right now. Yeah, it's all working. Everything's operational. All the inputs work. It works, but there's more functionality I want in it. So I'm going to be adding more to it, which I'll go through in a minute. But I mean, it's ready now, but I haven't. Yeah, I'm not. It's not ready. I have to do probably 3 to 4 days worth of work to get a product on the market. So I've got to get the EA obviously finished, get it uploaded onto the marketplace, get it through all the tests and everything on the marketplace, redo anything that needs fixing if they can't get it on the marketplace, do the MT5 version, 3 to 5 days work, probably 3 to 6 months work because MT5 shit and it just breaks all the time. But anyway, I'll convert it to MT5. I've then got to write all the documentation. I've got to do a video for it. I've got to get it up on the website. There's a week's work just after the coding just to get something ready to go. Because as soon as I put a product out, I get 1,000 questions and I don't get time to do anything. So I have to have everything done in advance. But yeah, it's ready. I can stick it up on the market right now with no information whatsoever and let people feel their way through it. And I will say, no problem, the manual's coming soon. And I will just get people saying, when's the manual coming out? When's the manual coming out? Not in that way. That's a nasty way, isn't it? People will be saying, excuse me, Lee, when is the manual going to be released for your new dashboard? Although that's not what I get. It's like, you moved the product and you didn't leave any instructions for it. So how the hell am I meant to use it? That's what I tend to get. I'm doing really good at impressions today, aren't I? But yeah, so it's ready, but it's not quite ready, if you know what I mean. How do you learn to program? College. Afternoon, Pot DJ. Took a trade this morning on GU long. Cool. We're getting to GU in a second. I'm already short on that. Running the 15-minute ADR. Yeah, so if you're running the ADR reversal set file, obviously it doesn't even know what ADR is. But yeah, anyway. Morning, FTNet. That's right. So pound Swiss. Let me finish these off. So pound Swiss long taken yesterday. This is the area I was targeting. These lows break, retest, retest. I was looking to get in here. We got the news spike down and off it's going to the highs. So target is up there. Not long. Just want to get out up the top at the moment because we're in a range, and I'm going to assume we're going to stay in a range until the market proves otherwise. So we've been in a range for 2 weeks now. Next long will be down here. So these highs basically. Oh, it's already tested it. So yeah, so basically these highs would be my next entry. Market tested that yesterday, so if it double bottoms, that'll be my second long. Hopefully we just get to target though. Pound US, I'm short at the moment. Nothing's changed on this. I don't know which way the US is going. I'll be down there or up there today when non-farm payroll comes out. So this high here is an option. This is a better resistance area zone at the top there. So I've targeted that at the moment. So it's this area here we've bought from, sold, bought, got through, sold. I'm going to sell it again. It may well react here though. So this is that area there, this area here. Yeah, so it's another price point that we've had reactions at. So there's an argument for pulling the zone down just to take into account that high and that high as well, and have a much bigger zone, because what I don't want to do is have price react off of that, sit around for 2 days, start to come back down again and flip-flop around, and me not be in it and have my average price up with an opportunity to get out. If I put it up at the zone, which I think is better here, and it does react there, all I'm going to do is sit in it in more drawdown. So I'd rather get in and have a third position on and get the average closer to price and then get an exit quicker. But it's US dollar today. It's going to move, isn't it? So I'm going to leave the zone there. Got a long on at the moment from there. Next one is going in at those lows. Want to get out up at the highs. Nothing's changed. New Zealand dollar Swiss longs I'm looking for. This is the Trump low. This is the previous low. No idea. It's gone without me anyway. So I can't really figure out where to get in on this because the price action is so wicky and choppy and messy. I think what I'm going to do is just move the zone up. So I'm assuming we're going to do the gap fill. So we're going to test this area here. We've also got this area here, which is potentially that high. So I'm going to try one here. And the reason I'm going to get in there is because this is an area where we did the gap fill and rejected. We hit it again, rejected, hit it again, rejected. We tried again, rejected. We tried again, rejected. Then we got overpowered and we rebought. Yeah. So we're rebuying that level there. So if we can come and test this area, we know that everybody that was selling here flip long here. So if they're still long, that's where we're going to get in. We're going to come up and test the highs. So I'll try and move my zone up and try and get in on a drop on that now. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, have one short on at the moment. It's not gone anywhere since I got in short. So next one's there, exits at the bottom. US dollar CAD, 2 longs on at the moment on that one. Next long is down at the spike of the news here, which we rejected. We came and tested it, rejected, tested it. We went into an area of balance there. They did a price discovery short, broke long, haven't retested it yet. So the first retest of that is my third entry long. target is the previous highs. So it's again, Trump. It's an awkward exit area. This is Trump undoing Trump, that spike. Yep, so this is the area they rejected. Normal price action, as normal as it can be during Trump. Another Trump rejection, which took us up here, but we didn't manage to go higher than that level. So again, this is resistance. Then we had this move up, Trump, Trump, Trump. Canadian import duties. No Canadian import duties, but we did retest that area again. So that to me is a good upside target, because if you take all of this crap out of the equation and ignore all of this market knee-jerk reaction, scared about what Trump's going to do next, price action, this is the area we are holding. So that is where I think the sellers are sitting. So I'm getting out up there. And longs already explained. US dollar Swiss, longs on at the moment. Again, Trump V-shaped recovery ties in with that little high. Bit of a mess. It's the only thing. It's the most recent support I've got to go on. I can't take that because it's too close to that order. There is nothing else. That is the only thing I can see that is supportive in, this month, basically this year. So this is the start of January. That's this year. That is our low of the year so far. I'll buy the low of the year. So that's basically that one, an exit up at range highs. So we'll see where this goes. Obviously, everything today is news bound. So it's all about looking at the reaction to the news and taking the money when the money's there. I'm not trading the yens or New Zealand at the moment, and I will get the new trade manager dash moved over onto this today. I've got lots of versions of it because it's in development. I'm on version 5, development version 5 at the moment. So what you see here is the evolution, and it will change, but I can use the current development versions basically and just keep updating them. But yeah, so I'm not in any profit much. I'm not in any drawdown much. I'm just waiting for the news, as everybody is at the minute. So this will all move either into drawdown or into profit on the news, and that will give me options to move the prices around when obviously that news hits. So there we go. That's that. Quickly look at the indices. So no breaks so far on the FTSE. So the FTSE is still an inside bar on the 5-minute range. It is. Look at the spread now. Look. Oh no, this is global prime. That's why the spread is small. Yeah, no, the spread's shrunk now. It's only the open they spread it. So hedged on the DAX. Look at that for a hedge, and look at that. Hedged on the DAX. So hedges in on the DAX. There's no trade on the FTSE. So for the SIH today, let's look at targets. All-time highs. So we're up at all-time highs on the DAX today. We're rejecting yesterday's high. So upside target at 5R from the range today. That's your opening range. So that's 5R on the range is above ADR. Obviously, with non-farm payroll, with the unemployment rates for Canadian and US coming out this afternoon, everything's going to move. All indices are also going to move. So that is a good upside target. That's 5R. If we go and hit ADR, I'll try and get an aggressive exit. Downside is tricky. We've got the monthly high in propulsion here. So this is the propulsion move that broke out of the last month's high, and we haven't looked back since yesterday. So we broke the high, and we're looking to see if this is a price discovery that will hold or fail today. So downside, if we do break back down, we're going to find support here, potentially. If that doesn't hold, it's very hard to pick a support resistance out of that, because it's just 2 days of solid buying. So 5R is ADR. So I will go for ADR to the downside, basically, and see if we can get an exit there. But there's nothing really until we get down here from a previous resistance, potentially to turn into support to retest, and that's 175 ADR. So odds are less than 10% of achieving that type of move in a day. So I'm going to go with that. So that's just the hedge exits today on those two. So short on the FTSE. Yeah, we'll see where that goes today. So that is the 15-minute ORB and the 30-minute ORB. So this basically, the way this is set up at the moment, is looking for the 5, the 10, or the 15-minute ORBs. If you don't get any of those, looking for a 30. Today is a great example of why the 30 also works, because the 30 is the same as the 5. The 5, the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30, it's all the same thing. That we haven't broken out yet. We're inside bar. So we're just going to wait for the market to break these levels, and then we're going to go with the market momentum. However, it's non-farm payroll day. This is what likely will happen. So there's a good chance of a double stop out today, but we'll see. I'm going to let it do its thing. It's back tested for many, 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 many years. Data is the data. So we'll see how we get on. Right, that's all for that. Anybody got any questions on anything else? Regarding the dashboard, would it be possible to show break-even levels of multiple entries, which you have as a line on a chart? Yes, the support resistance propulsion indicator does that. What am I got to trade on here? Pound odd. Oh, I'm on it. There we go. Yeah, so this is this green line you can see here. There's only one trade on. So that's it. But if there was more than one trade on, that's your break-even line. So it's the support resistance propulsion indicator. That is what draws that line on for you, and loads of other lines. So go and have a look at that on the website. It's this one here. That draws your propulsion gaps, your break-even line, weekly and monthly support resistance. It's got candle timer built in. Loads of stuff. There's a video on it there. Is the copying live already? Look through for it. Couldn't find it. Mostly only strange stuff in there. Yes, it is live. I don't know how to find it. I don't think I've got a feeling they don't actually show you anything until it's got some closed trades, and none of the accounts have got. Oh, there you go. They're there. Look. So that's the H1 RSI mean reversion strategy. As you can see, look, they've only just started, so they're flatlined because they're not doing. There's nothing happening. I've got an investor. That must be me. Because I'm copying my own trades. So I'm copying my own trades into my other account. That's me. There's only one investor. That's me. So yeah, they're there. Yeah, so basically, here you go. I'll put a link up there. So this is the H1 mean reversion. So that is this account or this account. The zone trader account is here. Look, zone trader strategy. It's that one. That's interesting. Gives you live yields. Look, open. It's open drawdown. Good. So so you can switch between the two basically. I got an investor. It's me. Got all excited then. Yeah, I'm not putting it up out on the website or anything yet because I'm still trying to see how this works. Because you can adjust your risk based on your account size and stuff. So I haven't quite got to grips with exactly the functionality from an investor or if you're a copier's point of view. So, but yeah, it's there. So go and play with it if you want to, but it's all up there. So you have to search for MST, Market Structure Trader, the MST. I have your propulsion indicator. I mean, have the average price in the new dashboard, so not having to look at individual charts. Yes, I can plot the average price. I think that's on my list. Display average price of the position. It is on my list. So I'll just go through basically what we've got so far. And I'll go through the list of what I'm going to add to this. So anybody that wants anything extra, now you can input. So for those of you who don't know, this is a new Trade Manager dashboard. So the old Trade Manager dashboard is this, which is just an indicator. And all it does is show you the last 5 days worth of information, this week's profit and this month's profit. Obviously, this has not had anything closed on it, so it's not got anything there. It shows you your exposure, but as arrows. So this is the the number of currency pairs you have, which is okay, but it's not the best way of identifying exposure. It gives you your totals, number of trades, total number of lots, your drawdown on everything, and the individual trades profits, plus your profit, your direction, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So that's the existing one. It's all in weird higgledy-piggledy order, and it's basically just an indicator I knocked up because I wanted something to be able to visualize my portfolio, because I don't trade accounts, I trade a portfolio of positions, so I needed to be able to visualize my portfolio. So this is the evolution of it basically. So it does very, very similar things, but a lot more, and it's an EA. So the main difference is EAs can interact with your orders, indicators can't. So indicators you cannot press any buttons on to buy or sell. EAs you can. So by creating a Trade Manager dashboard in an EA format means that I can have close buttons and I can do a lot more with it. Yeah. Afternoon blue trader. It's rainy. Not here. It's cloudy. It's not rainy there. So if you've got trades that are open, and you can hide all of this information, but if I got this trade here, for example, which is $168 in profit, I can close it out in full and get rid of it. So bank 170 goes up there, and I can say I've banked 170, so I'm going to use a quarter of that profit and reduce this one by a quarter. So I've dropped that down. So I've done some drawdown control. So I've closed the profit out at 170, and I've closed $70 worth of drawdown on that one. I can close that one in full there. So that's $92. I can close out all of that trade, 167, and I'll decide to close half of that out. Yeah. So I can monitor my drawdown and exactly what I've got on, how many lots I've got on, in what direction. So it's all broken down individually now, so you can see how many lots total you've got, long, short, where those lots are positioned. You can see what the swap costs are, what your commission costs are. It gives you much more information basically about the total position on each individual instrument. But for me, the real advantage of this is doing drawdown control. So if I've got 11.98% of gains now, yeah, I could say, right, I'm going to use half of this profit to get rid of some of this 27% of drawdown. Forget the numbers. I am pressing buttons at random with all sorts of different lot sizes to test it. This is not a trading strategy. Do not copy any trades in here. This is me just basically going, I think what I'll do today is I'll go that. I just want to see it all working. Yeah. So this is not an account. This is a demo account doing rubbish, right? But to demonstrate the point, I got 11.98% in profit banked. You see how easy it is to make money by accident? Yeah. If you don't use a stop loss, you just make money. So I want to use that 11%. So what I can do is I can say, right, show me the percentage drawdowns on each of these. And I'm going to use this 11%, and I'm going to get rid of this 1.5% here. I can get rid of it. Bang, gone. Now my drawdown is reduced. Excellent. Okay, so I've got now 8.59% of profit. So let's get rid of some more drawdown. What's the worst drawdown? And I've got this sorted by trades profitable to least profitable. And again, these are all things you can change in the EA input. So you can change the sort order of all the columns and the data. So that's trade sort method is most profitable first. I can change this over so it's the oldest first. So it gives me the oldest trades at the beginning, the newest trades at the end. You can sort it any way you like. And you can turn all the columns on and off. You can hide all the sections. You can basically configure it to be exactly as you want it to be. Yeah, so it's highly configurable. So it will just work for everybody, whatever you're doing. So I've got 6% of drawdown, 7% of drawdown, and 7% of drawdown. That's because I'm on gold, and because I was taking full lots, obviously. Everything else is taking micros, and that's taking full contracts. So that's why that's got so much drawdown. So I'm going to find it hard to do drawdown control on that. So I might just take another gold trade. What am I doing? Sell, short. So I'm short on gold, and I can see I'm short on gold because my exposure shows me I'm short on gold. Again, instantly. What's my net position on gold? I'm 5 contracts short. What's my net position on the euro? I'm 30.38 long on the euro because I've got long exposure of 2.88. I've got short exposure of 2.5. So I'm net long 0.38. So it gives you all the exposure instantly like that. You can see what your nets are. Rather than looking at the arrows, I've got 7 positions long on the US dollar, which is what the old Trade Manager Dash did. I'm not interested in how many positions I've got on. What's my exposure? How much danger am I in? If the Canadian dollar collapses today, what's my danger? 3 contracts long. That's a lot of contracts long if it goes the wrong way. So I might want to look at reducing some CAD exposure. So I've got 8.59. So I can look at my CAD trades that I've got on, which is Aussie dollar CAD, and I can reduce some of that exposure. So these 2 trades are pretty much the same. So if I close that one out and take a 0.07, I've now got 2 contracts long on the CAD. Brilliant. So let's knock half of that off as well. I've now got 1.5 contracts long on the CAD. I'm down to 6.34. So again, it's just an ability to be able to instantly adjust your exposure, instantly bank profit. So when this new spike happens on the CAD in the US this afternoon, these are all going to change color. Hopefully, all these are going to turn green. And then when I see everything turning green, I can instantly, depending on which columns I have selected, at the moment that's just profit. Those are the close buttons, which you don't need open, obviously, if you're not going to interact with it. Percentage and drawdown of each position, I can see, and I can see how many lots I've got on each trade as well. So this trade is a 1, this trade's a 1, this trade's a 0.5, this trade's a 1. Yeah, so you can see all the broken down information on each individual trade. But from that perspective, looking at the percentage, I can then, everything that suddenly goes into green, I can go, brilliant, that trade there, I'm going to close it out. So I'll get rid of that, bank 0.7, get rid of that, bank 0.5. These are now all showing with white backgrounds because they're not above a target. And I've said that in my settings that I want you to color in trades that are 0.5% in profit or drawdown, 1.5% in profit or drawdown, and 3% in profit and drawdown. And you can change the color scheme for it. So basically what it does is it gives you a heat map of your entire portfolio. So I can see instantly that I need to just adjust the size of those columns because they're a little bit thin. One sec, because I've got thousands in there now. So where are we? Daily. Which column is that? Up here, isn't it? It's very configurable, as you can see. I can't find any of the. Let's make that 85 because it's not cut. It's cut that off a little bit. No, wrong one. That's that profit column. Hang on. Which profit is that? Yeah, open trade. Sorry, it's this one, isn't it? Individual trade column. Sorry, it's that one. Let's make it 135. There we go. So that's wider now. So I can see the profit. So yeah, basically I can instantly just close out all the trades that I want to based on their actual percentage in drawdown. So you can use this figure here, your profit for the day, and just basically continuously do drawdown control whenever you have an opportunity to do it. So all these are color coded, so it basically just shows you a heat map. So anything that is white background is either at the moment plus minus 0.5%, and this is all configurable. You can adjust it to whatever you want to do depending on how much risk you're putting on. Anything that is in a light color is over the very first threshold. Then you've got a second threshold. You can see this one flashing on and off because it keeps going above and below the 5%. You've got, there you go. So you've got two different thresholds. These ones are dark red, which means that these are way over my maximum. So I've set in here at the moment, just for testing purposes, 3%. So I'm saying anything that is over 3%, make it stand out like a sore thumb. This is what needs attention. Yeah. So whenever I'm looking at doing drawdown control, I need to do drawdown control on the positions that are in the most problem. Yeah. The reason I'm taking massive contracts on this is because I needed stuff that was constantly over that drawdown. So I'm taking 1 contract on it. So the lot size is not equal, obviously. But yeah, basically, so that gives you a visual representation of drawdown control opportunities. So when you're banking, it's important to do drawdown control on the stuff that is in the worst problem. So if I close a load of profit out on these positions here, I don't have to do drawdown control on these. I should do drawdown control on what is in the most issue for me, which is that. Yeah. I'm going to also, hopefully, this may well be stage 2, introduce a new section into it, which is going to be called opportunities. And the opportunities section will automatically show you opportunities to bank profit. So for example, let's say I want to make 1.5% a day. I want you to show me opportunities on my dashboard that will be able to bank 1.5% by closing out a profitable position and a losing position. The losing positions must be below the average line to make sure that when I do drawdown control, it makes that position more advantageous to me. So when you're doing drawdown control, what have we got multiples on? Pound CAD. So when you're doing drawdown control, I want something in drawdown with 2 positions, US dollar CAD. So when you're doing drawdown control, obviously what you are doing is you're trying to keep the average price as close as possible to the current price, yeah, so that you can get out of it whenever you need to. So the advantage of this, of doing the opportunity section and having the average price plotted on the chart, is I want to be able to immediately identify in my portfolio any trades which are in drawdown, like that one, which are, if we are in a buy, are above the average price. Because by closing that trade out, it's going to move the average price down. I'm not going to do this now, but if I took half off of that trade, my average would get closer to price, which is good for me. I don't want to do drawdown control on anything that is below the average price, because that pushes the price further away from current price. Yeah. So what the dash is going to do is, with every trade that is in drawdown, it will have an identifier on it. And I haven't quite worked out this. I'm probably going to put something like the letters DD next to it or something. And it will basically be, these are all the trades available to you to make your positions more advantageous, i.e. bring the average closer. So you can take some of this off and it will help you. If you take some of this off, it won't help you. So I'm not going to do drawdown control on stuff that is in the red, but is going to make my positions overall worse on the individual currency. Yeah. So it's going to be a really useful tool for managing large portfolios, which is what I'm in all the time. And instantly just going, right, I've banked 8%. Where can I take off drawdown or take off exposure above the line to give me more an easier exit on stuff that is in drawdown. Yeah. So obviously everything is configurable at the moment. You can adjust the you can hide sections away. So if you don't want to see the history section, it's gone. You can obviously set your starting balance so it knows how to do all the calculations. You can set the refresh rate. So if you've got, this is maybe a little heavy on some machines from a resource perspective. I don't know yet until it's out there. But you can adjust the refresh rate. So obviously for position trading, I don't really need this updating every second. So just update every 5 seconds. So it'll sit there and do nothing, put no resource strain on your machine. And then every 5 seconds, it will just tick. There you go. So you can adjust the refresh rate of it. You can adjust all the colors. You can adjust the fonts. You can adjust the row heights. You can make everything bigger. It will dynamically adjust the text price to sit inside the rows for you. You can hide and show all the columns. Symbol column. I need to remove those. You're not going to not have the symbol column, are you, Lee? And the profit column, always going to have the profit column. So, but if you don't want the percent column, and you don't want to know any information about your lots, and you don't have commission, so you don't need that. You want your swap costs, yeah. So you can do all of that, and basically they will vanish. So we've now got only profit and swaps. So we've lost all those other columns, which means you can contract it down and see more information or less information. It's got individual settings for the open trades columns, which are these. So you can adjust widths and all sorts of stuff. You can sort it by whatever you want to sort it by. The buttons are all configurable for size, so it doesn't matter what resolution monitor you're running on. You can adjust every element of every text, every button. So if you're running on a 4K monitor, you're going to want everything bigger, whatever you want to do. The row separator styling, you can alter and change colors and styling of. Account exposure has its own settings. Weekly history has its own settings. Daily history, you can select the number of days, you can select the number of weeks, and you can change all the backgrounds of everything for the heat map. Yeah, so that's where we are at the moment. My list of things to do is the opportunity dash, which is going to be quite complex because it needs a lot of logic, so that might be phase 2. Adding toggle areas. So rather than having show hide buttons, inputs, have toggles like these. So basically, if you want to see the columns, I'll have a little thing up there where you can just press buttons and it will just show and hide. And you can set defaults on it just for ease of use. Identifying trades above and below the average so that we know where to do drawdown control and where not to. Displaying the average price. At the moment it doesn't delete everything, that's a bug. Show margins and all the other account info. So some people have said, can it show the margins available and all that sort of stuff? It can, but it's there. Always there. Margin, you can't see it, it's behind my head, but it's down here. Your margin's always there. I never used it ever. If you need to know what your margin is, you're over leveraged, because you should never get a margin call. If you're getting to the point where an account is ever getting a margin call, you've got too much size on. Margin to me is irrelevant. It never comes into play. If you are using a 30-to-1 leverage account and you're constantly getting margin called, you need to keep your lot size the same and put more money in. Yeah, you're over leveraged. You're going to blow it. So margin shouldn't really be something you need to see. It's something that you should never worry about. And if you are worrying about it, there's a problem which needs to be fixed. And it's nothing to do with the trading or the dash or anything. It's you. Total number of trades, long and short. So in the, let me just reset a minute. So in this section here, what I might do is show the total number of trades as well. I'm not sure I want to see that information. It's in the old dash, but I don't use it. But again, it's something. Exposure warnings. So again, I want to set up the same thing as a heat map here to show you where your biggest and smallest exposure is. So instantly, we've got US dollar news coming up today. Flick over to the dash. Holy crap, that's red. I need to do something about my US exposure before the news. Or I need to be watching the news like a hawk so that I can instantly react to the news. Yeah. Alert system. Haven't decided what I want an alert for yet. I don't want an alert for anything. I don't need one, but people are going to want alerts on stuff. So building an alert system into it. The opportunity section, which is part of that. Auto set the background colors. That's just technical stuff. Oops. That's it. So that's basically the roadmap, if you like, for what I'm finishing off. Some of that, a lot of that will be done today because it's small technical things. But apart from that, it's ready to go, apart from the main big functionality additions. So those I will probably release as version 2, version whatever, because I want to get it. I'm using it now, as you can see. But I'm still testing and I've been fine-tuning. I also want to go through an optimization process because when you're coding stuff, you leave a load of crap lying around. I've got a load of double variables in there, and I've got loads of stupid things which need tweaking. So I need a cleanup, a code cleanup. But apart from that, it's done, ready to go. So yeah, it will be out as soon as it's out, and I can release a version with a very short video, which is this is what it does, and then work on the manual and everything. But it's a case of everyone just have to watch the video, sort of thing, if you want it, obviously. And it's useful for anybody as well. So things like if you're trading the DAX, oil and things like that. So if I take a trade on oil, you see it appears in there, but it does not appear in here because it's not a currency cross. So this only shows you currency crosses. So if you're trading indices and commodities, you can just hide this section away because you don't use it, because you haven't got exposure direction. Your exposure direction is here. Yeah, so oil, I am 0.5 short. Yeah, I can see my exposure there. So it doesn't appear up here because it's not currency exposure. That's for Forex only. Same for indices. If I go long on the DAX, obviously the DAX appears up there, but it doesn't appear in there because it's not FX. There you go. That's a quick overview of it so far. So any inputs for additional features, functionality and stuff, stick it in Discord. And I will look at it. But again, this is, you know, if it's stuff that's useful, but bear in mind I am using this myself for position trading. So if people are going to come and say it needs X, Y, and Z, which is not what I do, not what it's designed for, I can incorporate it, but it will be sort of stuff that's hidden away, which you'll be able to turn on in inputs, maybe by default, because there's a lot of stuff, and a lot of people aren't going to need half this stuff. You know, for example, commission. You don't need the commission column if you don't pay commission. If you've got a swap-free account, you don't need swaps. So, you know, hide them all. All of these are hideable. Percentage gain, I also need to be inputs as well. Percent gain, hide in inputs. Because some people do not want to work by percentages. So if you don't want that, fine, we won't have it. It'll be off and onable. Profit, I'm not going to make off and onable because the whole point of it is to monitor how you're doing. And if you don't have that or that, how the hell are you going to use it? So there's certain columns like that, and that, which aren't going to be hidden. I don't care if you ask for it. They are not going anywhere because there's no point now otherwise, is there? Having DD control on the dashboard like that makes the process seamless. Yes, it's the main reason I built it. It's the heat map element. and it's being able to instantly see where problems are. This is the thing. It's all about the you know, where are my problems at the minute? You know, this is what I say always when I'm position trading. What I'm interested in is, where are my problems? This is the focus at the moment for me. This is my focus. I've said it many times in here and in the boot camp and in the members streams. This is the only thing I ever look at. Yeah. Anything here, it's green. It's not a problem. It's green. I haven't got to think about it. I haven't got to worry about it. At some point, either it will become that or it will become red. And then it comes onto my radar. So when you take a trade on anything, it's either going to go in the direction you press the button in or it's not. You only need to worry about stuff that is not going in the direction you've pressed the button in. Everything else, you let it get to profit. That's it. You just make money on it. So that's the only thing I ever look at. And this, when I've looked at that, but when I look at this and this is in a big number that scares me, I know that's big, so I don't really even need that, because I'm interested in what is my problem at the minute. Where are the issues? Where are the trades I've taken that aren't playing out? This is brilliant because I can look at this, and if I see nothing in dark red on here, I got no problems. I just sit here and wait for the money to come in. That's the whole purpose of position trading. Let me just change these thresholds down to 1.5 and 1, and then we'll see some more color variations. There you go. So this one here has just turned into red. It was light orange before. So what you can also do if you want to is set this to one thing you can do with it is set that to 100, set that to 0.5 and set that to 1.5 or 1, for example. So if you want to turn off the light color ones, which are slightly in drawdown, which is this at the minute, so that's slightly in drawdown, that's slightly in profit. These are just trades, they're not got anywhere yet. If you want to put that to 100, what it will do basically is it will only show you the problems and the massive positives. So these are things I need to concentrate on. These are things I really need to focus on. And this is stuff that is able to go up here and make me a ton of cash. And I can use all of this to reduce all of that. Yeah. So to get rid of it, a good example of how you would use this is 120 there, 133 there. So what I can do is I can make that 133 disappear by going that, banking 120, and with that, banking 50% of it, and bang, it's gone. My problem is gone. I've reduced a problem. So your focus becomes reducing your problems. So every time something gets green, I want to make a problem go away. So all I'm going to do is that 103, it's not quite where I want it to be. It's not ripe. Think of it like ripe. It's not ripe fruit yet, but I'll take it anyway. And then I'll make that problem go away. Bang. Yeah. So I've got that problem. So my problems have reduced by 2 and my P&L's gone up. Easy, isn't it? Yeah. The problem's going to be when the whole thing's lit up red like a Christmas tree. That will be your squeeze alarm. That's when the market is in Mr. Squeeze mode. You're going to get a load of red on there. Yeah. So it's literally a case of every hour or 2 hours, you can look at this and go, right, anything whacking great and green, brilliant, take it. Anything red, get rid of it. And just reduce. But when you're reducing the drawdown, what you've got to be doing is making sure that these are above the average. Yeah. So these need to be, depending on the direction, obviously, it needs to be something that is going to improve your situation. So there's no point in getting rid of that problem if when you get rid of that problem, it moves the average further away from where price is. It has to move your average on that instrument closer to price to make your opportunities for exit easier, reducing drawdown. Yeah, that's what it's all about, controlling drawdown as a portfolio. So that's basically the next step, and I'm not going to release it until I've got that functionality in there because it's important, because it's what the focal point of this new dash is all about. Yeah. So and again, all this is lots I really couldn't give a monkey's about. It's about drawdown. So you know, lots are a calculation based on account size and risk. I don't care. Some people will want to know, they want to get rid of the biggest lots, which makes sense because they're going to be your biggest drawdowns most of the time. We don't want to get out of that gold. I'm just going to take another short on gold. I'm martingaling it as well. Just to try and get that off, because I've taken way too much risk on it. Look at everything else. It's like ones and 24%. Just pressing buttons. That's why I don't trade gold, you see. I don't even know what lot size to take. What I mean is, will it only work on a VPS? Your new dashboard is going to be an EA. Does that mean your computer is going to have to be on all the time? No. It doesn't do anything, does it? It doesn't auto trade, Danny. Sorry, I've missed a load of questions. Hang on one sec. I'll come back to you in a second. I put in a request to the big boss to free funds for the new dashboard. I'm awaiting approval. Don't forget your likes. There are not many quality trading channels. Support the good ones. I haven't used John for ages. I should have him come up every day, shouldn't I? I might make him a scene in my thing so that it reminds me to press the button. So yeah, the new dashboard is an EA, but it's nothing automated. Okay, so at the moment, in its current form, it is a tool for you to instantly visualize everything in your account portfolio and to automatically close trades out, or manually close trades out rather, whenever you want to. So oil's in profit, get rid of it, stick it in the bank, done. Yep. It doesn't do anything automated. So this is running on my terminal here. If I shut my terminal, the dashboard isn't operating anymore, but it's not monitoring the market to do anything. It's just showing information. The opportunities section, when I build that out, potentially could be automated. So I can build into it, because it's an EA, I can build in a functionality where you've got an opportunity on US dollar CAD and the pound US dollar to close out this trade, this trade, this trade, and this trade to generate 1.5% gain. So what you could do is say in the inputs, I would like every time you see an opportunity to bank 1.5% gain by closing a position and closing a negative position which is in drawdown above the line and improves the overall portfolio, I want you to do this automatically for me. If that is the case, then yes, the EA has got to be on 24/7 365 on a VPS, or running on your PC, or running somewhere, because if it's turned off, it can't do this, can it? It's like saying to me to you, can you take a trade for me on the US dollar yen at 2 o'clock in the morning while you're asleep? No, you can't, because you're asleep. It's asleep while it's not running. So this section, if I decide to make it an automated thing, would need the EA to be on, or rather for it to be running. But by having this, the downside to having this functionality is you are going to miss a lot of profit. If you have, for example, the US dollar CAD and the pound US dollar, and that is a tick, that is a tick, that is a cross, that is a cross. These, if you close them out now, could be 3 times bigger this afternoon in profit. And that could have reversed and not actually be in drawdown anymore. So by taking that 1.5%, what you're actually doing is missing 2% worth of movement, and the 1.5% drawdown or whatever that was is reduced down to 0. So we've actually lost 3% by taking 1.5%. See what I mean? So all of these closing trades I've just done here, who's to say that that would not have become 15% today if I'd have let them run? Yeah. So there is positives and negatives to using automated systems to close out in profit, because if you get to 1.5% profit on multiple positions, it means they're going the right way. Let them carry on going the right way, and maybe they might make 3. So for me, what I would rather have is an opportunity dashboard that says pair, pair, these are the trades. The total profit available if you press this button here is 1.5%. Update 2.1%. Update 1.9%. In exactly the same way as this is changing, this will change. And you can open this up at any time and go, I need to bank some money because the news is coming up. Where's the opportunities to bank and do drawdown control in one button? That's what I think is the most useful thing, not having this make the decision for you. You're the trader. But if you want that decision taken out of your control, it's possible to do it. If it's the right thing to do or not, I don't know. But as I say, that's phase 2. So it's something that will come. Maybe it could be useful to see margin for lower leverage counts. But then it's probably very difficult to position trade. Yeah, so this is built for me. I'm building this with the reason this does all this stuff is this is the stuff I want. Yeah. If you don't position trade and you want to use this, fine. Your dash will look very different because you will probably only have 2 or 3 things here. And you'll only have one trade on at a time. So you probably have all these columns visible because you've got plenty of room. Yeah. The reason these are contractible is because obviously if you think about when we get like positions, occasionally you might get into 6 to 7 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So, if you're in a squeeze, what is my Aussie yen? A couple of longs. Yeah, so that is a squeeze, really. You're not going to see that if you're not a position trader because you would never take that many trades, would you? And again, this is not a hideable column. Don't think. Oh, I did make it hideable. Does that work? It does. Just need to hide those buttons. I didn't. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, there is an argument for keeping that as a hideable column. So yeah, some people aren't going to have that. Where's the DAX trade gone? Bugs coming out of the woodwork now. Look, reset. Doesn't show trades on DAX. That's because it's got a prefix. Suffix. I haven't got a suffix account, but I'm pretty sure that won't work. So basically, those trades aren't appearing because the logic in there is looking at the instrument name, and this has got a dot in front of the instrument name. Why brokers do this, I don't know. It drives me nuts. So I need to put logic in to remove prefix and suffix automatically, which actually is quite annoying. But anyway, so if you're using low leverage accounts, you probably want to see all of that. You probably want to see all of that. You're going to want to see all of this. And you may well want to see your individual trades, but you're probably just going to use the closed trades unless you want to take a partial, which you can. But you won't want to see that because it doesn't matter, does it? Because you're only taking individual trades. So it can be used by anybody trading absolutely anything. It's an information display. It's the bit that's missing, basically. For MetaTrader and for most trading platforms do not have this level of detail. This is the sort of thing that you need as a trader. You won't find any professional trader out there that hasn't got some kind of dashboard system running somewhere that shows them what's going on in their accounts. It's the important bit because the market's going to move up and down at random. You can take trades at random on a market that moves at random. But at the end of the day, your job is to generate alpha, generate profit. The only way you can generate profit is if you can see it. and understand how to control your risk against individual elements that you're trading, and use that information to make a trading decision. So everybody will want some of the functionality, I think, but not everything will be used by people that aren't position trading. So yeah, leverage is probably something that might be important for them. So I can include it. I'd love a dashboard like that for everyday life, getting rid of problems with 2 clicks of a button. Wouldn't we all? Yeah. Unfortunately, that isn't something that is available in everyday life. But hey, wouldn't it be nice? The new dashboard is a huge upgrade. Yeah, it's a totally different thing, basically. I use Vantage Markets and Fusion Markets, who both have some of the tightest spreads on indices. Yeah, I've looked at Vantage before. TD365 are super tight. Global Prime are super tight. You know, the tightness of spreads. There's 2 things at play with spread. Stopped out on that short, so lost on that one on the FTSE. There's 2 things that are important with low time frame trading. Basically, is the spread is obviously important, but also the spread variance is important. So you know, a lot of brokers advertise spreads from 0.1 pips and things like that, but it's variable. So yeah, at some point you might get 0.1, and they probably will give you 0.1 at some point because it's part of what they've advertised to you, but it's variable. What I'm more interested in, and why I kind of like Global Prime, and I also liked Darwin X, I still do like Darwin X, but not for the FTSE, is that they give you fixed spreads. Fusion and Vantage give you fixed spreads, but they won't give you fixed spreads in MT4. Yeah, TD365 are, if you want the best broker on the planet for spreads, it's TD365. They are fixed spreads and they are virtually near zero. But you can't have it in MT4. You have to use Web Terminal. And a lot of brokers will give you fixed spreads on Web Terminal. But if they give you fixed spreads on MT4 or MT5, they will be wider than normal spreads, which are variable. You can't win. The whole point of a spread mark is it's the main income generator for a broker. So if they're going to give you a fixed spread, it's going to be something that isn't better than other people's, because they need to get their money somehow. Use MT5. I'll look it up again, but they weren't. Tight spreads. Nah. From. So where's the fixed? I can't see anywhere that they fix spreads. There's only one broker on the planet that I know of, and it's TD365. Variable. Variable. It's not fixed. It's not a fixed spread. It's variable. Just see it when I use MT5. RTH are tight and out of hours slightly higher. Yeah, so it is a variable spread. TD365 are fixed spreads, but on Web Terminal. That's the difference. So on TD365, Tight fixed spreads. Yeah, look at these. They're awesome. But they are not in MT Terminal. They are on their own online web-based trading interface. And unfortunately, you can't use EAs on it. So you can manually trade fixed spreads, not a problem. But you can't auto trade fixed spreads. If someone finds a broker that is that, I will snap their arm off and take it. Yeah, because it's one of the main issues with this strategy specifically is the spread. And this is why I have the offset here. And this is why the SIH and the ORB have the offset, because you've got to offset at least the spread, because the market will double top the opening range regularly. And these are the areas where brokers widen the spread. Yeah. So this is a joker, broker, joker, same thing. This is an area. Look at this one here. Look at that little bit here, right? Now, the market, if you look at the futures market on the FTSE right now, you will probably find that that candle actually double bottomed the open. That's the open. Double bottomed the first seconds of the open. But what your broker does when it gets here is they widen the spread. Why? Because anybody that's long there is going to stop out and flip and reverse at that level. So they stop you out. They widen the spreads. I've shown it in here many times with me having a trade. Yeah. You see a candle like this, right? And you see my order closed here. Price never traded there. Price traded there. The broker, when the price got there, spread up there because my order was there. Don't forget, they have the software that finds your orders. They have software. If any of you, probably boring you all now, but you've been in here before, you know what I'm going to say. They have software that they have on their systems which shows every single client account and every single price point of every single order and every single thing that you have in the market. If you place a stop loss in it, they know where the stop loss is. So when price gets close to it, they have software that says, here is price. If you spread the market by 1 pip, you will make $1,000. If you spread the market by 2 pips, you will make $1,300. If you spread by 2.5 pips, you will make $2,600. Which would you like to do? And your broker's job, your manager, as they call it, hi, I'm your friendly broker manager. Would you like to deposit some money into your account? Thank you very much. Oh, he's very close to that one. $2.5 grand. Thank you very much. What does it do? Spreads the market like that. You won't see it. That's their job. Their job is to execute orders at the price that is the best that they can achieve for you. Go and read your contract. You signed a contract with your broker that says in there, and I can guarantee it's in there, go and read it if you want to. You have to find it because it's big, but go and find it. And it will say, we will execute your orders at the requested price or the closest available price to your requested price, dependent on market volatility. What they do is they control market volatility using spread. So if your stop loss is here, price gets to there and turns around, they will take you out because they can. And they will, because it's their job. Yeah. And when you say, but price didn't trade there, they say, that's the best price we could get at the time. It slipped. Bollocks. They slipped you. What happens? It's just what happens, and it's happened throughout time. Go and ask someone like Tom Hugard, who's worked in brokerages. Yeah. That's what they do. So spread is important, and this is why brokers do not offer fixed spreads, because it's their income. Yeah. So when you find a broker that does do fixed spreads like TD365, you will find that their commission costs are higher. So the TD365 accounts have very tight fixed spreads, but have slightly larger commission because they've got to get their money out of every button press. That's their job. Yeah. When you press the buy button, they make money. When you press the sell button, they make money. Which way price goes? Couldn't give a monkey's. Every time you press the button, they make a spread, a commission, and a swap, depending on how long you hold the position for. It's their job. Do you always close your index trades on the day? Yes. Yeah, so if TD365 have spreads which are based fixed and based on hours, again, I haven't looked into it in much detail because I want to trade MT4 and MT5 because I'm automated. But if they do, then yeah. But at the open, you'll find the spreads will be tight fixed. They won't be wide fixed at the open because obviously that's the whole advantage of it, isn't it? Really. So if they offer you bigger spreads at the open, it's pointless, isn't it? I might as well just have variables. Germany 40-50 and UK 160 for me now. Vantage. Yeah, so oh, spread. Oh, sorry, floating. Oh, it doesn't even give it to you there. I don't think I haven't got a spread indicator on there. I did have a spread indicator, but yeah, I'm 0.6 on the DAX. So yeah, you're 50, I'm 60. So it's the same. On the FTSE, you're 60. This is Darwinex. So on the FTSE, I'm 90 on Darwinex. On Global Prime, was 60. 65. So yeah, you see what I mean? Vantage, you're getting the same spreads as me. 40, 50, 60, fine. Half a pip is not an issue, is it? Half a point. It's when you get like on Darwinex, we're seeing these opening spreads like that. It's just not usable. But Global Prime, this is Global Prime. This is why I'm saying this is a Global Prime account. These guys are good. So I'm going to switch over to them, I think, from Darwinex, just because it's the FTSE. The FTSE is the thing that I want a tighter spread on. The DAX is absolutely fine. The NASDAQ, this is the Globex session on the NASDAQ. It's tight as arses. It's just no spread at all. It's brilliant. Sorry, that's a bad term, isn't it? It's one that my mum used to use. Usually when we're going down the pub, so-and-so will buy you a drink. Nah, he's tight as arses. When you're hedged, do you always attempt to trade out? Yeah. No, actually, that's not true. So when I'm hedged, so the outcome today at the moment is 203 on the DAX. So I'm hedged for 203 on the DAX. That's not going to change. I am having targets set on the DAX here and here for an exit attempt. Yeah. If it doesn't reach those, that's it. I'm locked in 203. So basically today on the DAX, the outcome is going to be either that, and I'm just going to take a $200 pound. This is a pound account loss, or it's going to get there and it's going to attempt to make me when it gets loss recovery, it's going to attempt to make me somewhere in the region of £100, yeah, with a loss recovery trade. However, NASDAQ and the Dow this afternoon will obviously trade and something will happen here. So again, it's a portfolio approach. So when I'm looking at this is the account history for this account. It's up $3,000 in the last few months, last few weeks. So up 12% on the account. Yeah. So again, if I've got a locked in loss of 200 or something, and I see the NASDAQ and the Dow trades coming on, yeah, and there's an opportunity here to close out 200 and get back to break even today and keep runners going, I will do that. Yeah. So you have to look at trading as a portfolio. Everybody looks at trading as individual trades, and this is totally wrong. No one makes money on an individual trade. I have individual trades that make me a lot of money, and I have individual trades that make me a lot of loss. Look at yesterday. I made 4,300 yesterday. I didn't. This is a demo account, by the way. It's not a real account. This trade yesterday, my point is that this trade yesterday made 4,300 because it could. Yeah. So it will also make big losing days because it can. But those are individual trades. You are trading an account, and an account has equity. You are trading equity and drawdown. That is your job, is to manage your business's finances. Whether the market goes up or down based on a button press is nothing you can do about. The only thing you have is, can I make money today? You can if the market lets you. If the market doesn't let you make money, you can't make money, because if you execute a strategy, it will take individual trades, and individual trades are not responsible for you making income. They help, and they all go together over a period of a week, a month, a year, a quarter, and whatever, to make an overall P&L. Your P&L is what makes you money. Individual trades are just a tiny little cog in a wheel. These are lots of tiny little cogs, which I can use to generate alpha on the account. So when I see a hedge going in on the SIH, what it's done is it's gone, your break didn't work today, your break didn't work today. So we'll sit and wait and see what happens today in the market. Now, the market will either do something or it won't. If it doesn't do anything, I can't do anything. But if the Dow breaks long and makes 300, the NASDAQ breaks short and makes 100, and then the NASDAQ comes back and hedges for 200 net negative. I've got 200 negative running on the DAX, and this thing on the Dow hits TP1, banks 250, that's paid for. And then if it pushes up to another 250, I have the option of closing that to pay for that and walk away on the day making no loss. And this is why you will see my P&L with lots of little days like this, because these are days where it hasn't worked out. These are weeks where it just didn't clean break. So don't make a lot of money. We have weeks where it hedges every day and doesn't move anywhere. There's nothing I can do about it. We have, like last week, we had one day, this week, wasn't it? I had a double hedge loss on the DAX and something else. So it was that day, wasn't it? The 5th. Yeah. So that day there took a 4% loss because they were hedge recovery exits that didn't work out. So if you look at those two trades, which was one of them was definitely the DAX. There. Yeah, so this day, that was your opening range break. So there's your open. We broke long, then we broke short, hedged, went up, 5R target, hit it, attempted loss recovery exit. So I was looking for it to push down just a little bit more, and that would have exited in a profit. But what happened was it went sideways and pushed back up. So I took a loss on that, and I took a loss on that, and I took a profit on that. So the total of that and that is bigger than the normal loss. That happened on two instruments. I think it was also the NAS on that day. No, the NAS was a clean break. It must have been the Dow. Yeah, the Dow. So the Dow did the same, look. There's your hedge. So I went long, got triggered short, hedged. It pushed and pushed and pushed. 5R target was achieved. Attempted a loss recovery short. Didn't work out. So I had to take a loss on that and that. So this doesn't pay for it. So days like this, you will lose. But it's all about looking at your overall position in trading, because it's not about one thing working. It's about making money, and you make money on what the market movement on that day is at random, up and down. And this is why position trading works, because we take a trade, and if it doesn't work out, we don't worry about it. We wait and see where it's going, and then we take another trade to move our price to a more favorable level, and then we wait. But during that time of us going into drawdown on multiple times on one instrument, all the other instruments are doing what they want to do and what we want them to do, which is make money. So we use that profit and we reduce the ones that don't work, which is drawdown control. So it's about this dash specifically is about putting a mechanism in place that is more useful for doing drawdown control on a regular basis. Because there's a couple of people that do it all the time. You know, there's one guy that's messaged me. It says he constantly does drawdown control every single day. I don't do that. I used to, but I don't. When I started out, I did drawdown control constantly. Every time I closed a position, I had a rule of I will close out another one in loss, and I will make sure I'll keep that all coming down. What I realized was I was just getting rid of trades that would actually come into profit and make more money in the long term. So, but yeah, anyway, I've waffled on enough. How's my prop going? It's not. I blew it. So yeah, blew it basically. I had a silly 5 minutes, and yeah, blew it. So I've got another evaluation starting actually this afternoon. So I will be going again, but yeah, screwed that. It's the norm. I only had one payout on it as well, so it's just one of those things. But yeah, I've got 2 evaluations in the go at the moment, so I'm restarting on that. But what I'm doing is, so it's this account basically. This strategy is the one that I'm trading on prop. So yeah, and as you can see, if I had have executed. And this is the other thing about futures, which annoys me. There's no automation. If I'd have executed this like this on prop, that would be my result this week. I wouldn't have hit max drawdown, and this week would have been pay week. Next week might be totally different. But yeah, I'm just executing the 5, 10, 15 ORBs basically. So. But I got bored and started executing other trades which weren't part of the strategy, which is where it went wrong. As usual, that's how everybody blows it, isn't it? So yeah, right. So that's I'm going to get crack on with the rest of the dash now, and try and get it to a state where it's kind of working. Well, it is working, but I'm trying to get it to a stage where I can basically push it out for anybody that wants it, basically. So that's my job today. It won't be till next week, I don't think, anyway, because I've got quite a bit of work still to do on it. Anybody got anything else you want to discuss? Any other trades they want to look at? Bear in mind, obviously, today is NFP, so all going to go nuts. It's fun watching your P&L during non-farm payroll. So obviously we're going to go mad this afternoon at 1:30. So just be aware. Watch all your US positions. Watch all your CAD positions. Bank stuff before. So if you have got anything open on US and CAD, again, use the normal dash. But, you know, with this particular dash, anything basically you've got exposure on the US dollar that is in profit, take it. Yeah. So Canadian, Aussie CAD there. Stick that in the bank because it can either go into profit or it's going to disappear into drawdown. You can't spend drawdown, you can spend profit. Yeah. Best case scenario is you bank it and it would have turned into 200, but then again, all this drawdown that is negative is going to turn positive for you. So just bank profit while you have it before news, because if it goes your way, the rest of it comes into profit. If it goes against you, you've got one less problem. So keep on top of the drawdown. All right, I'll be back on Monday, hopefully with something more working on this. And yeah, and then obviously we'll discuss the usual. Just over the weekend wise, there's not any news coming up, but be careful this weekend again. Yeah, we got Trump now in charge. He's still signing executive orders off. So we had a gap last week. You know, there's a possibility of a gap again this week. So be careful, because gaps obviously can take you into quite big drawdown, especially if you're using Position Trader EA or Market Reversal Alerts EA. A gap of a decent size will instantly trigger drawdown control. So just be aware of that. Yeah. And try and get yourself as flat as you can by the weekend. You can always put trades on again.
if they go against you. But if they go against you with them on, you're going to go into more drawdown. So just try and grab the money where it's there, basically. All right, have a good day and have a good weekend. Anything you need in Discord, any ideas you got for the dash in Discord, if it's not already been covered today, and I can stick it on the list and have a look at the feasibility of it. But other than that, I'll be back on Monday. Have a good weekend.